It is time to start preparing for bed, so I'm going to show you my nighttime routine or even evening time routine. Really, whenever I park routine, because it's always the same. I'm trying to maximize my privacy and safety, and so I do the same things every time. First, I lock the doors and then I cover all the windows. So here we go. All right, first things first, gotta lock the doors and secure us. So I come over here to the front. There's this little lock button. I push it, it turns red. I love that because that means even when I'm in the back of the van, if I ever wonder if I have locked the doors, I can always glance up and see that little red light glowing. Now for covering the windows, I'm going to start with the easiest first, which is my pull down shade, because the window here is already closed. So the window's closed, pull down the shade, done on that side. And then over here, I have my magnetic screen door, but behind my magnetic screen door, I actually have a window shade. It snaps into place. I never take it fully off, so it's usually hanging here, so I don't have to worry about where it is or anything, and just try not to get it slammed in the door. And so I go ahead and just snap the 3 snaps at the top. Behind the screen, snapping them into place. This last one is usually kind of hard to reach. I mean, it's at a weird angle, but snapped into place. And then I'm pushing that screen back closed. So that takes care of the middle of the van. Then I'm going to go to the next easiest. Up here next to my TV, I've got my shades for the rear doors. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to see me do this, but if you see the windows right here, all I really have to do is cover them with these shades because they are magnetic. All right, so I unfold them, and then there are actually 2 of them here. Pull these 2 apart and really just pull them apart. And you hear the magnet stick onto the window. And now I'll do the other side. Same thing for this side. I'll take my cover and unfold it, and then just slide it over the window. It just snaps into place. And I'm just straightening out so I won't have any light leaks, because I have a LED light right above me here that's really, really bright. And so that's one of the ways, you know, somebody could know that I'm in here, is if the very bright light is leaking through the shades, the covers, the window covers. So now that I have covered all the other windows in the van, it is time to cover the front windows. The same reason people love van life, for these big panoramic views and being able to see so much around you, also means that you've got to cover those windows when you don't want people to see in. And so my van came with these window coverings. So they reflect the sun on one side, and then they are black on the other side. And so when I'm not using them, I can store them. They kind of fold up like this, and then I can put them in a bag and keep them out of the way. And so I've got 5, 2 for the left, 2 for the right, and 1 for the middle. And so really they just sit into the window, so I just have to slide it over here and push it in. It's usually better to do with 2 hands. And it just sits in the window. And then for the larger part of the window that actually comes down, same thing, reflective on one side, black on the other. And at first this used to take me forever. Now I could actually do it with 1 hand, but like I said, it's easier with 2. So just adjusting it so the little corners will be covered as well. And then do the same thing on the other side with the other two, but I'm going to go ahead and do the middle. And because these things are reflective and they reflect the heat, they become so critical when you need to adjust the temperature and the comfort level in the van. So in the summer, when I park somewhere and it's hot outside, the van will get really hot. The van will also get really cold. But just like most things, prevention, what do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So if I can keep the van from getting hot as much as possible, that's something that really saves me more than trying to suck all the hot air out, or, you know, cool the van with the fans or the AC. So it's the most effective strategy for keeping cool in the summer. And so I'm gonna unfold this thing. It has, the top has a hole to go around the rear view mirror. And so I always know which side is the top and which side is the bottom. And so this one definitely takes two hands, because you got to unfold it, put it around the mirror, and then just kind of like pulling it into place. It is kind of weird that it doesn't just sit in the window like the other ones. And so what I have to do to make it sit still, I use the visors to hold the top part in place. Otherwise, you see it's a gap here. A lot of light comes through. Headlights are the worst. So when I'm parked on the street and cars are turning, those headlights are so bright. And so it just shines like all the way through the van. And so I try to keep as much of this window covered. And so I just put the visors down to keep it in place there. Never a problem on the bottom or the sides. It's just that little bit of gap in the top. And so now that's covered. Now all I have to do is add these two to my passenger side windows, and then I am done. I have blacked out all the windows in the van, and it really helps with stealth mode, so that folks can't see, or they can't so easily see when I have the lights on the van. I'm not going to say never, because, you know, light leaks out of some holes and stuff like that. But I try to use as less light as possible, and my main cabin lights have a dimmer, and so my lights are usually on dim. But I've already gotten to the point where I don't need to turn the lights on at all, because I know where everything is. I can my eyes adjust really easily, and if I absolutely need light, I might rather use the flashlight on my phone than to turn the cabin lights on, because even though they're dim, you know, it's still light. And if I really don't want anyone to know that I'm in here, I'm not trying to turn that light on at all. So that is how I cover the windows, and the stealthier I am, the more secure I am. And so that's part of my strategy to stay safe at night. Here's a closer look once I put those covers on the windows. See, they just kind of sit in there. They're just sitting in there. And then I've got the back windows covered, the sides covered, and it is time for bed.